regular video with Mal. This is just a contest entry into SemperFi Comic Guy's Walking Dead Apocalypse type contest. Really interested in this one because, as you guys know, I love The Walking Dead, and I especially love The Walking Dead comic. What he's asked us to do is talk about an apocalypse situation and what we do and how we survive the apocalypse, and also give some recommendations for some zombie or apocalypse related movies, books, TV shows, that kind of thing. So, gonna do that. So, awesome prizes. Really impressed with the prizes he's giving away. He's giving us a signed copy of Walking Dead number 19, which is the first appearance of Michonne, which I would love to own because I love Michonne so much. And it's going to be signed by Denai Guanera from The Walking Dead, and yeah, it's so exciting, and I really want to win that. Second prize is a Michonne Funko Pop, also signed by Denai Guanera, which also would be cool to have because I don't have a Michonne yet. I just got Carol so far. And third place is a copy of Walking Dead 53, which is a first print of the first appearance of Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita, which you guys know how much I love Rosita in the comics, so I would love to own that as well. Pretty much any of these prizes I'd love. And then his fourth place will be Negan's replica of Negan's Lucille bat, which would be cool to own too. And fifth place he hasn't been announced yet. But these sound like the most amazing prizes, guys, and I really want to win this. And it's an international competition, which they don't come around very often, so I'm definitely going to enter it. So, my apocalypse plan. So, my apocalypse plan I have thought about for a long time because you never know when something bad is going to happen. And it's not going to necessarily be a zombie apocalypse. It could just be bad weather. It could be a bad thing happening. I have a supply bag in mind. I've been building a supply bag for a long time now. And it's a good idea to have, whether you have inclement weather or you think the zombie apocalypse might be happening soon. It's a good idea to have supplies. So first of all, I have lots of bottled water kept in the house. So if we were to lose power or lose water for a few days, we've got those supplies. I'm very lucky. I live pretty much across the street from a little like convenience store and also food shop. So they're well within reach. And the people know me there. So hopefully they'd be helpful and giving us some supplies or helping us break even for supplies if we needed to. That would be the first place I'm headed, is getting supplies from that shop. I do have some dried food in my bag already, my supply bag. It's a smart thing to have. You don't have to go out and buy like the really expensive, like I think it's like 10-year food or something like that. All you need to do is buy some pasta and stuff like that and keep an eye on expiration date. So every once in a while you replace it, put some canned goods in there. You've got some supplies for the apocalypse. Most things like last about 3 or 5 years. So if you put them in there, you've got some food. Make sure you got a can opener as well if you're putting cans in there. But make sure you got some stuff in there that you can boil. The next thing you want to think about, and I've got in there, are pots and pans. Easy things to do. Go to your local dollar or pound store and pick up some camping pots and pans. You will be happy you did. That is just something else you need. I've got a little container for water as well. I've got a container that will hold 5 liters of water. These are all things I picked up at the pound store, which worth doing. I've got a little mini shelter that I picked up at the pound store as well. Just a little mini tent. Useful to have. These are all things you can kind of pick up in the summer season and then kind of keep. So this is part of my apocalypse plan, is just to have all these supplies together, because it doesn't matter if you're actually on the run from zombies or if you're just stranded somewhere, you're going to want these things. And my first thought is, if something bad happens, I get home. And the problem is now, I used to have a job where I was really close to home, but now sometimes I travel far, so I have to keep in mind of how I get back. And I always like to leave myself multiple routes of getting back. Another thing that I think will be very useful in the apocalypse is to not rely on cars. I do a lot of walking already. I could walk 10 miles easily if I needed to. It would not bother me that much. I could do it, would not wear out my feet or give me blisters or anything. I could just do it automatically. I also have a bike and I'm very used to riding it, so not being reliant on cars would be very useful for the zombie apocalypse, and it's something that I've thought about. Other things I have in my zombie supply bag is first aid stuff. Very important. You have some bandages. that you have some antiseptic stuff, you've got basic first aid stuff. I also have duct tape in my supply bag. If those of you that haven't seen before, one of the best ways to dress wounds if you don't have medical supplies is to use duct tape. It will hold up a lot better. If you have something that needs stitches, you can put the skin back together with duct tape. And I know it sounds harsh, but in a zombie apocalypse, if your arm is ripped open and the zombies are going to come at you because you're bleeding, you really want to have some duct tape there. Hold that wound together, really. Keep you from bleeding to death. Other things I have in there are barter items. And a lot of people don't think about this when they plan like for apocalypse. Is barter items. So one of the things I can pick up really cheaply is toothbrushes. One of our stores, one of our supermarkets sells 2 toothbrushes for 18 cents. I've got a couple of them in there because if I was like in like a FEMA camp or somewhere where I was with a crowd of people, people are going to forget things like toothbrushes and toothpaste. That is an easy trade item. Doesn't matter too much to me, doesn't take up a lot of space, and means I can get something else I want. Smart. Toilet paper, also a very good trade item. Get the little rolls of toilet paper or the little things with toilet tissue that you pull out. Very easy to carry, great things to trade. Make sure you have enough for yourself, but also put a few extras in there to trade. One more thing I have in my bag is something to start fire with. Very smart. And a small fishing kit. Gotta have food, guys. I can fish. My dad taught me. I know how to fish, but you gotta have the supplies to get the fish. So I've got a small fishing kit in my supply bag. Very useful thing. Last thing I have in there is a small knife that also turns into an axe. Very good for cutting down firewood. If you're gonna survive outside, guys, you're gonna need a fire. It gets cold outside. You gotta think about these things. Also some space blankets. Very useful. Keep you warm. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Easy to use for like a tarp as well. So all those things are things I've kind of thought about what I would do in a zombie apocalypse. Now, my original zombie apocalypse plan involved like bunkering down at my old workplace, but nowadays I think I just try and bunker down at home. I've got enough supplies there to last. We don't have very many entrances that are easily accessible, so that's a good thing to do. You would want to board up windows and stuff like that and make sure your home was secure. But other than that, I think it would be very survivable in our current house. So I would try to do that. Just make sure you got supplies. Another thing very useful, guys, if you hadn't thought about it before, face masks. Very useful. Not only are they good for like cleaning your house when it's like really dusty, but also in a zombie apocalypse or if there was a pathogen in the air, that would help you so much. And you want something like that. I think countries like China and Japan have the right idea wearing them when they're sick, and so it just keep you from getting ill as well. So good things to have. You're not going to ingest things that you don't want to ingest, and just keep junk out of your face really and keep you safe. So those are some of the things I've thought about in my zombie apocalypse plan and things that I put together in my bag to kind of have as supplies. It comes in handy all the time as well. So like if I were to cut my hand, I've got supplies in there and I can just go get them. I know exactly where they are. I've got like flashlights and candles in there. So if we lose power, I've got those kind of supplies. So it's not just something you use for a zombie apocalypse, it's something you use in any emergency. And that's a great thing. So we also wanted some recommendations for movies and books and stuff. I think my top recommendation has to be Warm Bodies. Both the book and the movie are brilliant. I really like the book more because it does kind of go in depth into the mind of a zombie, and it's from his point of view, a zombie named R. It is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but it's not that romantic. It's a good kind of like retelling that most teenagers and adults would like. But it's really told from the zombies' perspective, and some of the things I like about it are the zombies forget things very easily. They can't read anymore. They can't distinguish emotions, and that's part of it. And they're just constantly hungry, and that's what it is. When they eat a human brain, they get the memories, and that is a really brilliant thing for them. That's what they like the most. So that is why they eat brains. Well explained. So I really like that book. There was a prequel to it as well. Definitely worth checking out. I think there's another book in the series coming out, Warm Bodies, as well. So great thing to check out. Another one I really like in the movies coming out soon is The Girl with All the Gifts. Definitely should check out that book as well. I think the movie's out in the next few months. and that is kind of a zombie apocalypse one, kind of not. It's about children that are kind of zombies, but they're kind of like half-breeds of zombies. And they don't exhibit their powers all the time, but they still have that craving all the time in their minds. And they are treated like animals, and it is about one of them, their like compound where they live, their school where they live, being attacked, and then having to go on the run with one of the teachers and like one of the military guys that actually usually protects against them. But yeah, it's an interesting story. I will not give away the ending because it is pretty interesting how it goes. It is something out of the ordinary. You wouldn't necessarily think that's going to happen, but it does. But it's a great read, and I think it's going to be a good movie as well. And then the last movie I'd like to recommend is, of course, Zombieland. Zombieland is my favorite of all the zombie movies, just because I love the rules involved in Zombieland, and I love the comedy of Zombieland, and of course I love Bill Murray in Zombieland. So great movie. Love the bit at the end with the theme park, just brilliant. As someone that loves theme parks, I thought that was a really fun way to kind of end the movie. I love the Tallahassee's quest for Twinkies. Just great, just great. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. It just makes, it's kind of a black comedy about zombies, but it's just a great black comedy about zombies. I can't wait for the sequel, and I hope it will be as funny as the original. So yeah, so those were my answers. I'm going to link contest links down below. Definitely go check out his contest and enter, because there are some really awesome prizes here, guys. And make sure you do a video as well and tell us about your apocalypse plans. What would you do? How would you survive? Please subscribe to my channel as well, and check out my other videos, especially my Walking Dead review. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Hey guys, Mel here. I really want you to subscribe, want you to subscribe, want you to click that button below. Subscribe.